So our next guest is really well dressed, so I assumed he was the CEO of Fifth Avenue
he's wearing
Brands.
a tie.
Yeah, no, he looks, his suit makes mine look like, I got it off the sale rack
I
here.
think I saw you wear a tie once.
Yeah, I don't like the constriction of the neck, but that means my shirt doesn't fit properly. I'm sure he could tell me more about that. So let's welcome Richard Lorenzen.
Yep.
How you doing?
Good morning. How are you?
What is Fifth Avenue Brands?
We're a public relations firm based in New York City, and we do PR and media relations for tech companies, financial firms, and politicians and diplomats.
Why are you so well dressed?
Gotta impress the client.
Yeah, exactly.
Of course.
To sign
See
up.
our fees?
So how'd you get into this? You wake up, this isn't what, you're not a doctor, lawyer, et cetera. How do you one day wake up and go, I think I want to do public relations?
Well, I started the company when I was really young. I was in high school when I founded the company, and I, like a lot of kids, I was looking for ways to make money. But I decided to turn to the internet, and I learned how to code, I learned how to do digital marketing, and I started selling it as a service to local businesses, and that was kind of the early genesis of
Where was this geographically?
I grew up on Long Island.
Ah, so right here, local yokel, huh?
Yep, local. But it didn't matter thanks to the internet. I was able to sell services to anybody all over the country, all over the world. Now the company obviously looks a lot different 12 years later, but
The suits have gotten better.
the suits have gotten better. The office space has gotten nicer. But yeah.
See, one thing about public relations, and I don't know a whole lot about it, is you need to have relationships.
Yeah,
So-
keyword relations.
Yeah.
Relations.
Yeah.
How do you convince the people, hey, I can get you in the door here?
Yeah, you look young.
Thank you. I have a good surgeon. I did start really young. It's a relationship business, and it's also a lot like sales. So, you're working on cultivating relationships with reporters, and you're also working on cultivating relationships with clients. Obviously, those relationships with the reporters are the value that you bring to the table for your clients, and it's something that you build over time by bringing them great content and being a valuable resource for reporters as well as your clients.
So let's talk about entrepreneurship. What do you think the lessons you learned as a young entrepreneur that you take with you even today?
In the beginning, I do a lot of speaking at universities and talking to young people about entrepreneurship. And I always say, look at something that you can start that's simple in the beginning, selling a service, for example, where you don't need to create a product, you don't need to code an app. So look at something that you can do that's simple, has a low barrier to entry initially into the market, and you'll learn a lot. You'll learn about sales, you'll learn about management, how to deliver, how to keep clients happy. And at the same time, you can start a business very inexpensively that, thanks to technology, you can run from anywhere in the world remotely.
Can you elaborate for me a little bit? Can you give me an example of that? If it's not building an app, if it's not building something tangible, what
Are
would
you
be
the deliverable?
In a lot of ways, you are. When you're a service business, you are a lot of times the deliverable. You're the brand. A good example would be selling, for example, web design services. I speak at a lot of schools, and there are kids as young as 13 years old learning how to code websites, and they're finding clients through the internet, through classified websites, through social media. They're reaching out to small businesses, and they're selling this as a service. So that's just one of 100 examples that you could use of a service that you can learn how to do yourself, do it through technology, work remotely, and find local businesses who will buy it from you. And you don't know, I'm going to give an example, you don't know really where it's going to lead to if you keep getting better at what you do and you keep getting more referrals and building the business.
How old are you?
27.
Ah. So there hasn't been a recession since you were...
Well, I started my business in the best timing, 2008.
Oh, you started it during... You're a recession baby.
Yeah. So that was fun, but it also, in a lot of ways, millennials and people our age came of age during a time when there was a lot of economic uncertainty, a lot of difficulty,
But
and
somehow
they
you
didn't know
did it.
anything else.
And you're even married?
And I am married, so
Children?
I have one on the way.
Wow, you're
in
like as
March.
serious as a heart attack. I
I
feel
like
a
doing
lot-
everything young.
Well, that's not
you.
young in the rest of the country. That's just young in New York
In
City.
New York City, it's a good
27's
point.
completely normal.
That's a good point.
For anyone else.
What I want to ask you is, you talked about find something with low barrier of entry. To
Yep.
me, for example, or for a lot of people, learning how to build or code a website well is a difficult thing. right? Because, you know, for some people it's like, oh, I know exactly where the graphics go.
I can't do that. Can you? You can. I can.
I
Yeah,
but
yeah.
like, you know,
yeah,
it's
yeah.
not intuitive for everybody.
Yep.
So how do you pick, okay, this is something I can learn, this is something I can't,
Yep.
this is something I can try, and this is something maybe I shouldn't spend so much time on?
There's a combination of, you know, looking at what you're good at and what you enjoy doing that definitely factors into it. But at the same time, you can do what I did and go to the library and check out every single book that they had about marketing and about business law and read them all cover to cover at 15 years old, and teach yourself a lot. So that there's some balance that you have to find between finding something that, you know, you're interested in, that you like doing, that maybe you have a knack for naturally. But there's a lot of self-education that goes into it. And again, technology has made a lot of that information available for free to people anywhere in the world.
Do you sleep,
through YouTube.
Richard?
And I do sleep now.
Do you go to the gym?
Sleep now.
I sleep
Do you
now.
go to the gym?
I do.
And you eat
So now
well?
so
Go
now
to the gym or you go to the gym now?
the beauty of the beauty of starting a business really young, 12 years into it now, is I can play golf now and I can go to the gym.
Oh, you're you're already like 50. You're playing golf.
Playing golf?
Yeah,
Like go to the range to play or actually go
Both.
Okay.
both.
Do you walk the course?
Sometimes.
You're already a 50-year-old in the golf cart, you know, doing the 19th hole. What are you going to do when you're 60, Richard, since you've already lived the lifestyle of a 60-year-old?
I don't know. I'm gonna have to figure something out.
That. Oh my god.
I think that's something to be proud of. 60-year-olds live damn well, okay? They live in nice neighborhoods. They play golf.
It's not a lie. It's-
Right? Yeah, no.
I'll have to find something else for sure. Some kind of stepping stone.
Yeah, what
up.
is, and
Who knows?
that's my next question. What's next for you in the new year?
You know, I like to spend a lot of my time mentoring now, and I work with organizations like Junior Achievement and the United Nations, figuring out how we can help more young people get access to education, how we can empower more young people who want to become entrepreneurs. So that's something that I'm really involved in, speaking at schools.
And you want to
we'll
be
see.
a congressman? Because I see the American flag. Are you interested in
maybe.
electoral politics? You're dressed like a congressman.
Well, we do a lot of political work right now as a PR agency, but you never know. You never know where. I think for anybody who has the opportunity to give back, whether it's through politics, whether it's through philanthropy, I think everybody should find some way that they can serve at some point in their career when the timing's right.
Wow.
All right. We're
High
impressed.
achiever.
27.
I need to reassess my life.
Yeah.
Thank you for joining us,
Thank
Richard.
you.
I appreciate
Yeah,
it.
it's great being here.
Yeah.